Welcome to the Higher Self Podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to help you unravel anything keeping you from a life of true abundance, joy, and happiness, which is your birthright. Each week, we'll bring in different guests specifically tailored to help you on your journey to discovering your higher self. Whether it's spirituality, business, finances, health, or relationships, there are no topics that are off limits. So get ready and enjoy this week's episode on the Higher Self. Welcome to a special episode of the Higher Self. This week, we're going to have a moment for us to dedicate this episode to the new year, to 2023. And I want to share some thoughts with you about how to make this year the best year of your life, and yet at the same time, challenge you to give you the space and the opportunity to look back at the lessons of 2022. I can remember back when I was building my business and in some of the coaching sessions that I've had with some of our inner circle and tribe members. Every year of our life is an opportunity to build on and is a stepping stone in the ladder of growth for whatever it is that you are looking to achieve and become. And yet, unfortunately, one of the major things that caused me to get into this field of work was the fact that I was noticing that many human beings around me back then when I was in business or in the real estate business never seemed to grow. Or they would grow and they would grow sporadically. They would have a good year and then a bad year, have a good month and then a bad month. It was never intentional. It was all as if it was a result of simply trying to survive and simply trying to get by. And so when I would look at that, it would break my heart. And as you're listening to my words right now and my voice right now, it breaks my heart to think that there's not a part of you right now, or there could potentially be a part of you right now that isn't looking on this new year as a new opportunity to grow in every area of your life. And back then when I was in the real estate business, I would measure everything based off of our transactions. And every year I had a goal, and every year I had something to achieve and something new that I wanted to aspire to become. And I didn't realize it back then, but the reality was that I had no peace inside of myself. And it's not to say that there's something wrong with having a goal. It's to say that power was my pleasure principle. And today freedom is. So much so that once you taste freedom, you want everybody to have it. You want everybody to have a taste of what it feels like. And so as we look forward on 2023, before we can even look back onto 2022, I feel one of the most important things that I do in my life that I would encourage you to do in your life is to really set a foundation for the different components of your life and an understanding of those components. And so I'm going to give you the 4 basic components that you should be looking at in your life. And I'd actually like you to grab a pen and a piece of paper right now, because this is going to be an important session for you if you want to grow in your life in 2023. And the first one, more than anything, is spirituality. Spirituality. I want you to consider that before you came here to the third dimension, you were a soul. While you are here, you're a soul having a human experience. And when you leave someday, you will be that soul and you will be returning to where you came from. And so as a result of that, I also believe that your soul has a purpose. And when you are plugged into the system, you are living life from the perspective of whatever it is that you think. And whatever it is that you think can be manipulated and changed and altered by people, circumstances, music, the television, politics, whatever the case may be. And for as long as something outside of you is impacting or manipulating your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, you are not allowing your soul to heal. So I want you to take a moment to look back on 2022, and I want you to give yourself a little rating. 1 being, man, oh man, this was a tough year for my soul and for my inner being, right? 10 being, you know what? I challenged myself this year. I did some growth. Maybe I started meditating this year. Maybe I started listening to this podcast this year. Maybe I started walking and reconnecting with nature this year. Maybe I was able to forgive my mother or my father this year. Maybe this is the year that I came to awaken and I was able to heal and start my healing process. But just check in for a moment right now. And you can do this even by just closing your eyes and just putting your hands over your heart and just asking yourself, in 2022, who were you and what type of existence did you have in terms of your spirituality? Did you grow? Did you go backwards? Did you stay neutral? Give yourself a number right now between 1 and 10. And if you want to improve that number in 2023, the truth of the matter is that true spirituality is the uncovering of who you really are. It's the uncovering of your truth. It's the ability for you to speak your truth, to live in your truth. It's the ability for you to do things that light your soul on fire, regardless of what anyone else may think, which for a lot of human beings is really rough. It's rough because we get caught up into what we feel we need, whether that may be money, whether that may be the approval of others, whether that may be the relationship that we're in. And yet deep in our hearts and our souls, we know something may not be exactly right. And I believe that that's the future version of you calling you to awaken your highest self. I believe that that's the future version of you calling you into a moment of courage, where you get to go and you get to have the courage to look at your past and see what it is that is causing you to be this current version of you, and decide once and for all that you're going to take a step in the right direction. Maybe for you, that's here. It's doing something as simple as going for a walk. Maybe it's something as simple as, hear me out here, skipping breakfast. And just fasting in the morning and feeling and allowing your body to feel that hunger. And allowing your mind, through the exercise of feeling that hunger, to feel that panic and to tell you, feed me, feed me, feed me. And for your soul to say, not right now, mind. This year I'm in control. It could be as simple as that. Maybe it's taking your shoes off a little bit more often and connecting with Mother Nature and walking on grass or on the sand or in the ocean. Maybe it's taking a cold plunge in a river. There's a lot of things that you can do as a human being that have nothing to do with plant medicine, which I know you've heard a lot about that on this year's episodes. And you're going to continue hearing about it because I truly can't not talk about it because it's what helped me awaken. Speaking of awaken, maybe this year you come to awaken and you get to spend 3 days with us. Letting go of the phone, letting go of your work, letting go of the struggles of life, of the challenges of the relationships, of running your business. And maybe this year you're going to reward yourself and you're going to think about yourself finally. And say, this is the year that I'm going to go and I'm going to start my healing journey. All these people on this show, they seem to have something in common. It's like if they get it. Well, the common thread is that they went deep into their heart and soul. They went into their past and they found their true self. And maybe this is the year that you get to do that for yourself, right? So as you look at the number that you gave yourself for 2022, give yourself the intention or a new number for 2023. And as you write that number down, I want you to put some basic things underneath it that would help you to grow that number for yourself and to grow in your spiritual life. Maybe you're going to start doing yoga once or twice a week. Maybe you're going to start meditating every morning for 5 minutes, or heck, at least once a week for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and having a purpose of increasing that time with yourself. Maybe you're going to start consciously breathing a little bit more. Maybe it's something as simple as when you eat, you're going to be consciously eating this year. And not just scarfing down food, but taking a moment to really enjoy the present moment. All of these things are available to you. You just have to decide to become the new version of yourself. The second one, right? And we're going from the inside out. First is spirituality. Well, the second one is health. And it's so interesting because if you rewind back and you listen to my thoughts on spirituality, you'll notice that health is intertwined in that, right? Because the way your body looks and feels is a result of what is going on inside of you. It's the first of the 3 human energies of mastery: your relationship with food and your relationship with your body, right? And the more you can honor and love your body, the more that you can honor and love life. And the more that you honor and love life, the more open you are to receiving life. And the more open you are to receiving life within you, the more open you become to receiving life outside of you. And when we talk about receiving life outside of us, that is abundance in every area of life, which you, by birth, have the right to receive. You have the right to receive your dream partner. You have the right to receive your dream finances. You have the right to create and live in your dream body. You have the right to receive and create your dream lifestyle. But it all first starts with you loving yourself. And so how do we do that? We do that by honoring our body. Maybe this is the year that you carefully and meticulously inspect the packages of the food that you consume. Maybe this is the year that anytime you see the words high fructose corn syrup, right, or added sugars, where in the past you would have never thought twice, maybe this is the year that you consciously make decisions about what you are putting inside of your mouth. Maybe this is the year that you take a look at that can of Coca-Cola and Pepsi or Sprite or that alcohol and those beers that you drink every single weekend, and you start to realize, oh my God, this is killing me. Very slowly, albeit, but it's killing me. Maybe this is the year where instead of eating heavy amounts of meat 3 times a day, 7 days a week, maybe you only do it in the evenings. Maybe this is the year that you start going for a walk every single day and start lifting a little bit of weight so that as you get older in life, you've built up some mature muscle mass to protect your bones and your hips. Because you, as well as I, know that one of the leading causes of death among some of the elderly is just the simple fact that they fell and hurt their hips. And maybe you in your consciousness this year say, you know what? This is the year. This is the year that I changed my life. This is the year that I put myself in a position to where I could live a long, beautiful, healthy life full of energy and vitality. And all it takes is awareness. And so maybe in this moment you get to give yourself the gift of giving yourself a number. What was that number for you? From 1 to 10, 1 being not good and 10 being, I feel incredible in my body, right? I don't carry any excess body fat. I exercise all the time. Like, this was a really good year for me. Give yourself that number. And if the number was anything less than like a 6 or a 7 in this category, then for 2023, I'd like to challenge you to just raise the number by 1, maybe even by 2. And based off of everything that I just mentioned, put together a little plan for 2023 on some of the things that you commit to do next year to give you an abundant life in your health. Because like my great late mentor, Dr. Meltzer, told me, no one can live life on their own terms without outstanding health. If you're enjoying this episode, I wanted to remind you that this episode is being brought to you by the energy of healing and transformation. And it is your time to act now to transform your life by awakening your highest self. Join us March 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Austin, Texas, live at Awaken Your Highest Self. Tickets are on sale now. Go to DannyMorel.com/awaken and reserve your seats today. Number 3, we did spirituality, which is deep inside. We did the body, which is the next layer just outside. As a matter of fact, it's still part of you, right? Number 3 is money or your personal finances, right? And I say that one is next because it truly is the first thing that you can change and alter simply based off of your energy and your belief system. Week after week after week after week, you've been exposed to financially free and independent human beings that are also very spiritual, that are also in great shape. Is the common denominator with all of them. I want you to catch on to that. And so it means to say that anything that I can do or that they can do, you can do as well. Maybe this is the year that you finally accept once and for all that there is nothing outside of you that can stop you from changing your financial life other than yourself. It's not the government. It's not the color of your skin. It's not your community. It's not your neighborhood. It's not who gets elected president. It's you, and it always will be you. Maybe this is the year that you let go of the ideology that you are a victim to what is outside of you and that you're waiting for someone to hand something to you. And maybe this is the year that you decide that as scary as it might be, you're going to have the courage to change your finances. Maybe this is the year that you decide that you deserve financial abundance. And so one of the things that you always hear me talk about, whether that's at Awaken or for our inner circle and tribe members who are on our calls, you always hear me say the fact that money is simply energy. It's simply a reflection of the value that you are bringing to the world. And sooner or later, if you are bringing great value to the world, by the way, however that might be, whether that be by inventing cameras or inventing microphones or creating wood tables or making chairs or, mining crystals or making Palo Santo or making candles or creating crystals. I hope you guys are getting the picture. Or making lights or making shirts or pants or cooking a meal or whatever the case may be. I hope you're getting the picture. That the issue is not how do you make money. The issue is the mindset inside of you that is keeping you from causing the energy of money to show up abundantly in your life. And maybe 2023 is the year that you decide enough is enough. Maybe, just maybe. Because you do get to choose. Maybe, just maybe, this is the year that you say, that awaken thing that I keep hearing about, where when I'm on Instagram, I see people crying and they're saying, oh my God, my life changed and I've been healed and my left leg used to hurt and it's no longer hurting me anymore. And I healed the relationship with my father and my money started changing and I lost 30 or 40 pounds. Maybe this is the year that you no longer allow a $300 plane ticket to stop you. Maybe this is the year that you no longer make it about your resources. Maybe you make it about your resourcefulness. Because let me remind you, I'm a Hispanic guy from the ghetto, from a single mother family. who was raised on welfare, who just decided at 18 years old, the day after high school graduation, I'm not going to live like this anymore. And ain't nobody coming to help me. So it might as well be me. Might as well be me that makes a difference for our family. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're the one that does it for your family. As a matter of fact, not maybe. It is you. You just got to decide. You just got to decide. So rate yourself for 2022. How was your financial life in 2022? 1 to 10. And rate yourself in 2023. What would you like it to be like? And then write down some steps to help you advance and move up in the rankings with yourself, by yourself, for yourself in your financial life. And I'll tell you right now, if you're sitting there watching me and asking me, well, what's the first step? Please understand, I'm not saying this for any other reason other than to tell you that you have no problem investing money in the basics needed to survive. You have no problem buying the service on a monthly basis called Wi-Fi or internet that allows you to listen to this right now. You have no problem buying the phone or the computer that you're listening to this on. You have no problem buying the meal that you just ate. You got no problem buying the clothes that are on your body right now. And yet you've always had a problem when it comes to investing in your mind, your heart, your soul, your vision, and your personal development. And maybe, just maybe, this is the year that you say, I'm done with that. And you come to awaken. I won't let you down. Our team won't let you down. Our community won't let you down. All you just got to do is have the courage. Have the courage to do it for yourself. And last but not least, number 4, and I say this is last but not least because everything prior to this was a reflection of us. But number 4 is relationships. It's relationships. You know, if you haven't found a partner yet, or if you are single, the most important relationship you can have is with yourself. It's in developing yourself into the example of the human being that you would like to become and therefore attract someday. It's in spending time with yourself in those quiet moments and honoring yourself and loving yourself enough to provide for yourself the vision and the dream of the ideal life that you deserve to live. Maybe this is the year that you stop living in default and you start to create a life by design. A life where you put pen to paper and you decide what's going to happen. Irrelevant of what's happening with the economy, irrelevant of who gets elected, irrelevant of what cockamania illness they come up with next, irrelevant of anything going on. Maybe this is the year that you finally decide enough is enough. I'm no longer going to be a victim to my outside circumstances. I'm going to create them. Maybe, just maybe, this is the year. Because maybe your husband left you. Maybe your wife left you. Maybe you just went through a bad breakup in 2022. Maybe you went through a very tough situation. Maybe you finally got your hopes up in 2022 and it just didn't work out. Or maybe, just maybe, all of those things were a teacher to you. Maybe, just maybe, all of those things were a gift. They gave you the gift of knowing what you deserve and what you don't deserve. Maybe, just maybe, this is the year that you let go of the insatiable desire and need to find someone out there. And maybe in 2023, you go all in to find the most important person in your life, to find the one, not out there, but in here. Because until you find the one in here, in your heart and your soul, you're going to be looking from the pain and the fear of your mind. And when you look for a partner from the pain and the fear of your mind, you will attract a partner that is also needing a partner from the pain and the fear of their mind. And I'll tell you right now, that lights up and gets excited for about a week, maybe 2, maybe 3 months, maybe a year. This is what's called the honeymoon phase. But when you find your soulmate, your heart's mate, it's a different story. Because now you're conscious. You're aware. You know who you are. And quite frankly, you don't need anybody. You would just obviously want to experience this beautiful thing called life with someone that is your soul's partner. And you will attract that person. However, only when you attract that person within your very self. And you get to know that person, and you get to love that person, and you get to honor that person in every way imaginable. So when it comes to relationships, maybe this is the year that you go all in for you. Maybe this is the year that you don't spread around your energy all over the place anymore. Maybe this is the year that you decide to love yourself a little bit more. Or maybe if you're in relationship, this is the year where you get to, really get committed to that relationship. Maybe this is the year where you stop allowing yourself to be influenced by everything that the world wants you to be influenced by. Maybe, just maybe, this is the year that you decide to give your partner the love that they deserve. And so that's it. 4 components of your life: spirituality, health and fitness, your financial freedom, and relationships. And I want to remind you that you're the creator of your existence, of your life, and you get to determine how all of those areas of your life are going to look at the end of 2023. And if you've seen those numbers like I asked you to do, and you look back on 2022 and you can see that those numbers aren't a representation of who it is that you want to be, then I would recommend 2 things. Number 1, you get clear with who it is that you are and you are not. And you get clear with the fact that as of this moment today, as you're listening to my voice, you will no longer allow anyone outside of you to influence you negatively. Whether it's your mother, your father, your family, or for sure as heck, the television. Maybe, just maybe, this is the year that you decide to take back control of your life, and you decide to start living an abundant life in absolutely every area of your life, for the simple reason that it's your life and you absolutely deserve it. Wishing you incredible abundance, love, joy, healing, success, a lot of good sex, a lot of happiness, a lot of fun, a lot of travel, a lot of friendships, and wishing to see each and every one of you at Awaken this year. And I think that's it. Have a happy new year, and make it a great one. We'll see you next week for another episode of The Higher Self. Thanks for watching or listening. If this week's episode resonated with you deeply and you're ready to discover more about yourself, go to DannyMorel.com and check out some of our upcoming events and our resources. Or if you'd like to learn more about our coaching programs, simply shoot us a message on Instagram and one of our team members will reach out to you immediately.